This episode is being supported by Audiomovers, whose Listen To plugin has been a game changer for us at Take Notes. Get a month's free trial with the link in the description below. More from me in a bit. Simply Won't Do from ALCHEMY, and the first time I heard it, I thought, wow, that is really upbeat. Is it? I mean, is it,
What tempo
how
is that?
you respond and think, oh, that must be way faster, but it's not always the case.
No.
But is that the fastest track on the record? Or?
No, it's not.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think Higher Than Ever Before is fastest.
Right,
for sure.
well, we're going to do that one in just a minute.
Yeah. No, it's still up there though, for sure.
Yeah.
It must be 136 or 7 or something like that. Yeah, but the demo was slower. The demo was a lot more sort of funky and like acoustic drums.
You didn't even hear the OG version of this song. You heard like the second incarnation.
Yeah, this says V3.
Yeah, this is V3.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
geez.
No, the first one, it was like a Dr. Dre ripoff. It was like the bass line was like boom, bum, 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 bum,
Oh,
bum,
a
bum. It was like that. Yeah.
Wow, no, I never knew that.
No, we decided it was. We were in LA, and it felt
Yeah.
right at the time. And then as soon as we heard it back, we were like, no, we need to simplify,
House it up
yeah.
a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still built from one of Howard's demos.
Yeah.
But
Should we hear the demo?
Yeah, sure. There we go.
Where is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have messed with this demo a lot because
Right.
I was exporting parts from it into the next project, and that's actually a good place to start because this song wasn't developed from the demo; it was sampled from the demo.
Yeah.
So the actual final song that you're hearing is bits of the demo that I've sort of compiled into WAVs. So it might be one that's just drums and bass, and then one that's drums, bass, and the ooh thing, and then one with the vocal, and then some without. So I had I basically bounced out a load of versions with various parts muted and not muted, and threw them all into Serato Sampler, and just started chopping it up right in front of Howard until he was like, that sounds cool. It was the last song we made for the whole record, and I'm talking like the week before mastering. Like, it was a proper last minute one that made it, and I think it was necessary because there just wasn't a song on there that was angry enough, and I think that is a big element of the breakup and grief and grieving the relationship, is like being really upset and kind of pissed off.
It's more like
I'm not saying that's what the demo was about.
it's more
but
frustration than anger. I think,
that's where I wanted it to end up. Yeah, feeling frustrated. I mean, the words, you can explain that if you
there
want.
barely are any words, but yeah, it's Simply Won't Do. It was about my current situation and like where I was in life. I was like, I'm just constantly unhappy and down, and like, this won't do. Something's got to change.
Simply won't do.
There was nothing more to it than that. The rest of it is pretty much just me scatting. And I tried like briefly to be like, oh, maybe I'll try and write lyrics to all of these scatty bits. Like, when I not get down, it's not words. Know that you wanna go. It doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of vaguely about a breakup.
Like, if we were to develop the demo and just work in that project, we probably would have done that. But because I was exporting all these parts to just chop, there was never you couldn't actually re-record the vocal. It was done. Like, we committed to the demo being the chop. And so when the demo does reveal itself in the breakdown, the words are just, a bit gibberishy.
Yeah.
But I think that's something we've known since the first album, is that doesn't really matter. No one to this day really knows the last line of Fire Starts to Burn. It is just, people go, when a fire starts. So it's like, you can just sort of infer the words in your head,
The feeling's all in there. That's what matters to me. I don't care about if the lyrics make sense or if it rhymes. It's just like the rhythms, the melodies, and the feelings are it.
In the spirit of collaboration, I want to tell you a bit more about Listen To by Audiomovers. It's the plugin we use for all our remote sessions here at Take Notes. It allows you to stream your audio in real time, directly from your door to anyone, anywhere in the world, and all in pristine quality. And we're not alone. It's being used on projects by some of the biggest names in the industry. Everyone from Taylor Swift to Lil Nas X to Bring Me the Horizon. And we have a special offer for you. 1 month's free trial instead of the usual 2 days. Just visit audiomovers.com and use the promo code TakeNotes1 at checkout to get your free month and see what the fuss is all about. And now, on with the show. Are you able to show those chops then?
Exactly, yeah. So this is now the main project. So yeah, if we zoom in here, I think I've bounced these down now to audio actually. So let me get the sampler itself up, and I might be able to play it on my Mac keyboard. So yeah, this is Serato sampler. I mean, we use it a lot, but usually just for like chopping up drum loops or maybe a vocal, like a whole song is rarer, and then our own demo is very rare. But when you've got like a week before mastering, you're just trying to see if there's one more song to grab like from the air. I figured it was the quickest way to get there, and this was a demo that we discarded, right?
It was one of those 9 that I showed you in the first place.
Yeah, it was there.
It was actually the one where I was surprised. Like the ones that you said no to, I was kind of expecting you to because they were all out there or just not the right feeling or whatever. And this one, I was like, I feel like there was something in there, and you just didn't get it. And then you were like, maybe I'll chop this one up, and I was like, yes, good.
That's it. So I mean, you can see the chop happening with the MIDI, but I will try and I'll try and do it. So yeah, each chop is like an 8 quarter note, right? So I'm just like holding down. That's actually kind of it. That's the vibe right there. It's just missing the music because it's just the drums only.
And then as you're doing that, you're recording that at the same time. And
yeah, and no, I was just doing it to Howard. Like I was literally on the piano with nothing else playing. Like, here's your demo being chopped up live right in front of you, like with my hands. And when something goes by that you like, just make some noise.
But you were doing that for like maybe half an hour, and I was just sat on the sofa kind of like on my phone or whatever. And then at one point something caught my ear and I was like, oh, it's really good now. And I started filming him do it. So I've got a video somewhere of the moment it actually came about.
Yeah, exactly. But you get the idea. A whole track was loaded in, and then, I set the sort of parameters on Serato Sample by random, because it's got this really cool setting down there that just says set random. So you just hit it every time, and each time you press that, the notes will trigger a different place in the song. So after half an hour of doing it, I was like, I don't know if we're getting anywhere here. And then, one time you hit it, and then the first initial loop went by, and that's what it was lacking. I think what happened in that exact moment was what the song was lacking, which was a weird, hypnotic, kind of spaced out, frustrated, weird thing, which was the ooh going up and down, up and down. That's what I gravitated towards straight away once we heard that go by for the first time. This little
wow.
But as you can see, like, that is all in one audio file. Like all of this, like the bass, the ooh, the drum, and that's just all from the way I was. It's literally just chop, chop, chop. So as if you'd put it on an MPC or something, you're just tapping away until something happens, and then apply the effects and the filter later to make it move. And then what I did is I went back into the demo to bounce out a different version of that song with the same chop. So once I was happy with the chop and the loop, I would then duplicate the track but drag in a different file. So it'd still trigger from the same points, but it would be lacking certain instruments or the vocals. So we go from that, which has got everything, down to that's like more of the original demo just playing out as it did. Ooh goes away, chopped it there, and then the big stop, and then back to. So yeah, that was the basis of the chop, where we were getting excited and we were like, oh, this is now like taking on a different genre almost.
Totally. It was a really weird experience for me, because like I said, when I'm writing, I tend to just listen. Like, I don't jam as much as to just sit there and like wait for stuff to appear in my head. And generally I'll have like a section like that, simply won't do a bit, and then I'll wait, and then like the verse or pre or chorus or whatever will kind of appear after it. And this one, no matter how many times I did it, it was just this one section that would go round and round. And that's why when I gave it to Guy, you probably were like, I don't know, because it's just sort of one thing. It doesn't have like any structure to it.
That's why I didn't work on it, because I did listen to it for ages, the same as the other demos, but I never had a vision for where it would go next. And it turned out it didn't need to be written more, it just needed to be chopped.
Yeah, it's quite hard to imagine a chop of it already, you can't really think of that before, you have to try it.
That is something that you can't Yeah, because a lot of my beats and stuff, like to go with Howard's demos, I just start beatboxing in the shower or something in the morning. I'll be like, I'll just put that down later today and do that for weeks. Whereas, yeah, a chop is much more, well, it literally says set random and just go for it. So this was a much more jammed out thing. And very hard for us to then commit to putting it on the record because the process was different. It was of the week of release. And I think this was the only song where
Not of release, of mastering.
Of mastering, sorry.
Right.
I mean, it's the same
how,
thing.
How
You
long
can't
ago?
go back.
About
a month.
A month ago.
A month ago.
Yeah.
So it's currently recording in July.
July
so
18th.
sometime in June.
Yeah, it was a month and 4 days or something.
Wow.
I think we got it mastered on June 14th. So yeah, not long. And this was the only one where I think we did rely on some people's feedback because we did it in Jimmy's studio and Jimmy heard this after the first day and he was like, that must go on the album.
Yeah. Everyone we played it to was like, it's essential. We were
Yeah.
like, okay then.
And I think
Yeah.
because it was still built on your demo from that time, it was okay.
I was so happy to get it on, yeah. To
Yeah.
get anything from that initial group of songs felt good, yeah.
It took I took more convincing to myself, I think, yeah. I was unsure because I thought the story was told and that was all that mattered with the album is the story told. But yeah, once I realised and listened to it through a few times, I was like, yeah, there isn't like a really just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
This filled that void.
And I think from what people have said to me, like friends and family that I've played it to, it serves a really important role on the album now, which is, like, in my opinion, like most of the songs on this album are growers. They're like not ones that you love the first time you hear them. Whereas this one is that. It's like more immediate. People like it straight away. They don't take any convincing with it. Whereas like Looking for Love, people like it when they first hear it, but it takes like 5 or 6 listens before they really like it. So I'm glad we had more of a instant gratification one for the album,
right.
you know?
Yeah.